Hello everyone and welcome to another new review, and this one going to be on Moon Knight from issue number 10 to issue number 14. Now I'm not going to really edit this review. I'm just going to go and speak freely. Whatever I'm just going to say, it's just going to come out. So basically in issue number 10 we continue the story of Dr. Elisa and her past, and the past where she lost her parents to the murderer who's called General Lore. And now at that point she had convinced the Egyptian god who was helping Moon Knight, aka Mark Spector, at a point of time to join her on her crusade for revenge against her family's murderer. Now, in issue number 10, we see her using these powers to go to an officer called Gloria Rosa. Now, this officer was manipulated and convinced into trying to kill General Lore. Now, of course, she didn't succeed for one reason, and that reason was Mark Spector. He showed up and he stopped the assassination. He kind of got dragged down and beaten up in the issue of number 10, in the ending of the issue number 10. It was a really good issue. Issue 10 was a really good one. I kind of liked it. The writing was good, the art was good, the backstory of Gloria was good. They kind of showed us how dedicated is she to her father and to what he did and what he stood for. Now in issue number 11 we saw that Mark Spector, aka Moon Knight, got captured and he's into this facility, or I can call it a prison. We didn't know like where was this prison. He didn't know where was it. He was sitting and talking to a doctor. The doctor was talking to him and telling him about how he should calm down, about how he should kind of regroup with himself, and talking about how his doctor sent his files to this mysterious doctor. He said to Spector that your doctor, Dr. Elisa, said that you're a crazy person because, well, for one, he blew up her place. But it's more than that. She ripped him off the power of the Egyptian god that supported him through everything he has been through so far. Now, Moon Knight tried finding out why the Egyptian god left him. And of course he tried to convince the Egyptian god that there's something wrong with Dr. Elisa, that she's eventually gonna lose power of you and she's eventually gonna lose hope and all that kind of stuff. And finally the Egyptian god kind of got convinced about it. And he agreed to help Moon Knight after he jumped out of the plane. And by plane, I mean the prison he was in, which was a little bit weird but cool. Actually, the prison reminded me of a movie I watched in 2013, which was called Escape Plan. They had these masks on that looked like the ones in Escape Plan, the movie. So, it was kind of a cool reference. If they were referring to it, I'm not really sure, but it was a really cool scene. I really loved it. This issue was an okay issue. I like the fact that he had this conversation with the Egyptian god. He was speaking to him, was telling him about Dr. Elisa and how unbalanced she is. She won't be worthy of you, and you will see by time. And by issue number 12, we see the Egyptian god convinced by Mr. Spector, aka Moon Knight, and he kind of gave his powers back to Spector, and that's where we saw Spector start working on the plan to take down Dr. Elisa before she kind of assassinates General Lore. Now, the way he did it was to call upon a reporter. He called her and he told her to look up a few things that's gonna put Dr. Elisa in jail and just kind of take her down. And that's where we saw that he's actually preparing for a fight against Dr. Elisa. But that's where they took us to another scene where Dr. Elisa was being the bad guy and asking General Lore about her money. Now in this issue, we learned a lot about Dr. Elisa, and I'm really glad that they had this twist in this issue. We got this twist where Dr. Lisa actually is the bad person. Her parents were actually really bad, you know. They kind of destroyed the country they were living in. They did a lot of horrible things. And, you know, her father kind of ripped the country from their money. You know, he stole a lot of money, and then General Law was the resistance. Him and his army came in, and they kind of stole back the money that her father, the father of Dr. Lisa, stole from the from the public. So that's the whole story. That's the whole plot right now. It's more obvious why Dr. Lisa is after General Lore. She wants to know where is he hiding the money. She's after the money. She's not after revenge. No, she wants the money back, her family's money. And that was basically a really good twist, which I really loved about this issue. I mean, at first, you know, the murder, you know, killing General Lore for the murder of her family was pretty interesting. But putting in the fact that she's only in for the money and that she doesn't care about her parents, that was really cool. And, you know, she lost the support of the Egyptian god. The Egyptian god went back to Mr. Spectre, and Mr. Spectre is right now in power of the Egyptian god, and he kind of took down Dr. Lisa. He didn't really do much, he didn't really fight her, but the reporter did a lot of the work. You know, she put out a story about Dr. Lisa and about everything her father did, and I think that was a pretty good ending for this story arc, which was a pretty good one. I think it started around issue number 7. Yeah, I think it started around that time. It went on for, I think, 7, no, maybe around 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, okay, around 5 issues. Yes, I'm bad at maths, I'm sorry, alright? Anyway, I think I missed something, you know. For a while, I wasn't really connected to the comic book community and the comic book world. I was away for many reasons. I'm gonna talk about it in a different video, but I think they changed the team that was working on Moon Knight, and they brought one of my favorite writers on the book, Colin Bunn. He wrote a lot of books that I loved and that I enjoy reading. And Moon Knight issue 13 was the first book for Colin Bunn. I thought he would be just guest, writing, but when I read issue 14, I looked at the name. It was Colin Bunn, so I figured out, Colin Bunn is the new writer, is the new creative team for Moon Knight. Now, issue 13 was really interesting. It was a one-shot issue. We're back to the one-shot issues, which were basically really cool. I kind of liked them. We saw Mr. Spectre in this hotel with these ghosts that are kind of surrounding him, and that's where the Egyptian god kind of showed up and told him, hey, follow the trail so you could know what's actually happening to these ghosts. There was something weird about them. They were kind of sick. They were kind of being teared apart, and that's what basically Mr. Spectre did. He followed the trail and he found out that there are these people who are capturing ghosts, and they're capturing them for a reason. It wasn't really revealed in this issue, but Moon Knight went into the fight. He started fighting off these people, the ones who were actually capturing these ghosts, and he wanted to free them. And of course, we saw some cool, great fighting scenes from Mr. Spectre against the villain, until we saw that Mr. Spectre asked the technician guy, why are you catching these ghosts? And the technician guy, he didn't really answer him. Kind of Moon Knight let him go, but he told him, you know what, if I'm gonna see you next time, I'm gonna ask for a favor, and you better repay me back for letting you go. And then he was like, I'm gonna free these ghosts right now, so you better run for your life because you don't want to get kind of killed or something, So he basically freed all of the ghosts that were captured by these guys, and they were really thankful. It was really fun, to see them thanking a guy that doesn't really need to be thanked. He's not that kind of person. I think he's a humble person. When he walked out, he looked like he was injured, and they kind of followed him. They followed his footsteps, and yeah, he was basically injured, and they were like following him outside. So it was kind of cool. The ending was weird, but I liked it. This issue was really cool. It's a good start for Colin Bunn. I really thought it was a good issue. The art looks good. The writing really looks good. There was this line that Moon Knight said that was actually interesting. He said, "I'm the guardian Oh, hold on, let me get it right. Okay, understand this. I'm the guardian of the nighttime travelers, and traveling means you should keep moving. Okay, I think it was in issue number 14. He said something about him being the night traveler and the shepherd, which I'm gonna talk about right now. But first of all, let me give you my rating or my overall review on issue number 13. It was really good issue, loved it, enjoyed it. I would totally read it again. It's about ghosts, Moon Knight. It was just amazing. You know, it felt good to me. So I'm totally on, and I think you should guys pick it up and start this whole new journey with Cullen Bunn. Now in issue number 14, we saw this rare case of werewolves, or that's what people thought at first. But of course, Moon Knight was there to kind of figure out what was going on. Now we see this place kind of filled with rich people, and this place got attacked by dogs, trained dogs to attack rich people and get their money and kind of just, I don't know, kill them. Anyway, Moon Knight was at the scene. He got attacked by these dogs, and when he got attacked, he kind of got down. You know, they took him down. He was like really messed up, and then he kind of they kind of let go of him, but after like hell of a fight. So when they kind of took off, he put a tracking device on one of the dogs, and they kind of tracked him down. When he tracked down these dogs, he found out that these dogs were trained by someone, and that someone was a psychotic person actually. He was talking about how these people how these people are actually better than me. I should be as good as them. I should be as rich as them. And of course, that's where Moon Knight unleashed the dogs upon their owner, which was kind of abusing them, training them to do horrible things, which is really horrible. I mean, it's really twisted in many different ways. I mean, dogs are supposed to be good pets. You shouldn't turn them around and make them evil, for your own purposes to kill rich people for you. Anyway, I think here's the line where Moon Knight goes, "I protect travelers in the night. I'm the shepherd. This is my folk, and every dog has its day." And that was one of my favorite lines in this issue. Really loved it. The owner got attacked by a lot of dogs, and he was just screaming for his life. Moon Knight ignored him, and that was basically for the ending of this issue. Really loved it. It was amazing. It was beautiful. The art was cool. The ending was cool. Everything was good about this issue. Cullen Bunn is doing a really good job on this first two issues. I'm really looking forward to the next issue. Now, on this one, I really loved it because Cullen Bunn got this sweet pets that we love to take care of, and he turned the pets that are supposed to be the best friend of a human into the worst friend of a human. He turned these dogs into these evil dogs that kill rich people who were trained by an abusive owner, and he got what he deserved. I really loved it. Really cool. I think Cullen Bunn is sticking to the old style of the book. The first time it launched, it was only one kind of one-shot issue, and I really love this idea. I really don't mind it. So yeah, that was basically my review on Moon Knight issue number 10 to 14, 4 issues. I really love reading Moon Knight. I will continue reading it as long as it keeps going, because it's just amazing. When I'm reading it, I never feel like I'm reading a 20 pages book. I just feel like I'm reading a 10 pages book. It's just amazing, and I would totally love to read more about Moon Knight and learn more about him and see what kind of man he is. I think he's a funny man. He's a detective. He's a dark person as well. He's just a mix of a lot of different characters. He's like the Batman of Marvel, but in a funny way, which I love, and I still kind of like. So yeah, that was my thoughts on 4 different issues from Moon Knight. Let me know your thoughts right down below. If you liked it, please hit the like button for more Moon Knight reviews. I'm really sorry if I kind of annoyed you with this audio without editing, without doing anything about it. But I tried my best. I wasn't really in the mood right now to edit. I just want to put something out there without editing, without doing anything to it. I just want to talk freely without sticking to any scripts, because sometimes scripts doesn't describe the emotions of a person. How does he feel about this issue or that movie or this series? So I really love to talk just out of whatever comes to my mind. I just love to put it out there. So thank you guys for watching, for listening as well. If you if you kind of stayed this song for this review, I really appreciate it. Hit the like button if you did, and let me know what are your thoughts on the new creative team on Moon Knight. Did you like Cullen Bunn run so far? Do you like the art in it? Let me know right down below, and see you guys around. Take care.